Welcome to Skip the Formalities. I am your host, John J. And we are here to talk about some of the most controversial issues and the challenging topics that's going to challenge your everyday attitude and make you want to go to work and talk about it. All right. Now, let me introduce you to the panel. We got Yule, we got Josh, and we got Miss AJ. Now, one of the topics that we're going to talk about today is something that man has been doing since the dawn of time that we know of. Are men naturally polygamous? Or is there such thing as a soulmate? So my take on this is, back in the day, I had a few, women around, here and there. Am I practicing polygamy at that point in time? I doubt it. I'm exploring my options, seeing what's going on, seeing what I like, what I don't like. Now, if I was to marry 4 or 5 girls, maybe. They say it's polygamy. Some of us in the neighborhood call it being a player, kind of playing around, seeing what the field look like and the feel of the ladies and everything, or trying on our size, how the case is. Or in other words, what I was told when I was younger, sowing my wild oats, how the case is. Now, team, panel, I would like to hear your point of view. Are men naturally polygamous? Is there such thing as a soulmate? Or is we just all out here just trying to figure out life until we find that one that just turns our head and don't want us to turn no more? What you think?
I don't think they are. I don't think men are natural polygamists. Like, what does that mean? Like, you was born and you just always wanted to have several women at a time, or you wanted to be married to many women at a time, like that was your dream because that's natural for a man. I don't think that. I think that's just a kind of a lifestyle thing. Maybe you get a man who he not satisfied with just one woman. And polygamy, I thought, was when the women was down with it, or when a man was like secretly marrying women and they don't know, which is illegal, right? In most places. So I might be a little confused as to what the deal with that is, but I don't think men do that naturally. Maybe some men just don't get enough of one woman. He can't he's not satisfied with just one woman. Maybe she ain't giving it up enough. So he needs several. Maybe he might be a sex addict or something, and just one woman can't quench his thirst. I don't know, but shit, if that's the case, there's women like that too. So I mean, hey, I don't think that that's a natural thing. That's just a lifestyle thing.
Lifestyle. Well, I mean, there have been kings and kings that had multiple wives, and you're right, AJ. Polygamy can be where all parties involved know that they're in a shared relationship, whether it's 2 women, 3 women, 3 men, 2 men. I even heard one term called a throuple. Where it's one woman that's being shared by 2 guys and they're in a whole couple situation. So it's definitely different levels to it. Is it natural? I guess the big question here is, or the mindset here is do men enjoy having multiple partners? Like if it was my option, or if it was my choice in life to be able to have 3 or 4 women and married to all of them, and all of them had their particular duties and whatever the case is, and it was great, and there was obviously there's going to be some kind of discord or whatever, but I think it would be like, hey, I got a woman that I can talk to, I got a woman that's a great cook, I got a woman that can XYZ, whatever. I got a woman that's good at organizing. She's good at organizing, whatever the case is. Like that would be cool. But but at the same time, you have to be able to please all these women and give them everything that they're looking for, and to me that comes down to money. Like, I got 3 women, I'm all gonna make them happy. One love flowers, one love trips, and the other one like staying at home. Like,
what if everybody work?
everybody work, one stay at home. You know, you got a $200,000 income coming in because two of the women work and you work. But does that make you the breadwinner? Like, does that make you the sole person to be like, all right, well, I make all the money, they work, you got to stay at home wife. And like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I couldn't do 3 wives, probably because it'd be a lot of conversation that I don't want to have. Just yakking and nagging left and right. Like, I probably wouldn't even want to hear all of it. Like, no, I just want to go to sleep. Like, y'all want to talk all night long. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. Some cases it worked for everybody. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I know there are, but in cases where everybody knows that they're involved in a polygamous relationship, and I really don't know how that works. Like, that's a lot of personality. A lot of personality.
I actually know a couple of people that have those type of arrangements, and it's like goes in a circle. It starts out, everybody's on board with it, but I believe women are territorial, and I believe as their feelings get involved, they're going to want to lock it down. So, you know, it'll start out 2, 3, whatever it is. And if as those feelings increase, she's going to want a one-on-one type of scenario, one of them or all of them. And both of the people that I know, both of the guys, that's usually what it comes down to. They'll be, you know, start out all fine. And then as time goes on, the feelings change and confrontation. And the guy got to make a choice. One may leave, 2 may leave. And for both guys that I know, they probably went through it twice. Replace that one that left, bring another one in. It'll go okay for a while. And then it always comes down to the same thing. It was always one of the, and that would pretty much blow it up right there. It will blow it up
What
right
if
there.
what if it's like a woman and men though? Like, so you like, well, women is territorial. You know what I mean? What if it's like a woman?
Now if it's, let's say it's woman and men. Let's say it's a woman and 4 men. Okay, then that would be like she's got to have it. It will be a scenario like that. Look how they were. I believe men are territorial too. I just think that the woman is going to express it a whole lot faster. She's going to express it a whole lot faster. But she's got to have it proved how that went. When they sitting all up in the house all together, trying to wait each other out on a date, you can see how the feelings going to quickly get involved as it goes along. Because when it started, it wasn't like that. Later on, it became like that. You know, as time started going and feelings started getting involved.
Yeah. I don't know. It's that's kind of weird to me. Like, especially like in long-term
I'm seeing
relationships.
y'all like every half second. I'm looking at y'all now.
You can't hear us?
Oh, I can hear y'all now. No, y'all ain't. Go ahead. Say what you saying, Agent.
It just seems so weird, like especially for like long-term relationships, because I mean I agree, like eventually it's like, okay, I ain't got time to share, you know, eventually.
Yep.
I could see like you doing it, like having a couple on the side, but just over the long haul, just keeping up with that seems like it would be very difficult, you know what I mean, to do something like that. And if it's like a woman with several different dudes, that's gross. Like that's pretty gross. It's different for men. Like, I hate that it's double standards. I mean, but it just is. You know what I mean? It just is whatever, you know. But it seemed like it's more gross for women to have like several men just going inside. You know what I mean? Like, at the same time, like you know, when you watch stuff like
Wait a minute.
Maury.
She say at the same time.
I mean, it's almost the same time, even if it's the next day or the next day. It's kind of like, you know how you watch Maury and it be like they testing 6 different dudes. Like, so you mean to tell me that 6 different dudes busting you around the same time, like the same day, the next day, like they just all was busting at you? That's gross. Like, that's gross.
That's a
You know what I
busted
mean?
baby.
That's a
Yeah, that
nasty
is.
ass baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that's disgusting to me. You know? So like, but when dudes, and like I said, the double standards suck, and dudes is nasty too when they sleeping with a whole bunch of different women at the same time. But it seems like y'all can like rinse it off. You know
Hey,
how we can't rinse it off. You
hey,
know,
AJ,
it's in there.
hey, AJ, that same dude didn't hit one woman in the morning and hit one in the evening.
I mean, it's still it's not cool to do that, but it don't seem as disgusting. I mean, I get like it is a double standard. It's nasty. I will say, like, if you just a dude and you sleeping around and you just hitting everybody raw, that's nasty. That's diseases or whatever. But at the same time, it seemed like y'all can just kind of rinse the nasty off, but women, it's like going in there.
You can't just rinse it off. Like,
I mean, you can't
if
rinse no herpes off. No.
If you raw,
That's the gift that keep on giving.
if you going in there raw, that you ain't rinsing that off. Like, you going there raw, you exchanging fluids at that point.
Right, but a woman is getting bust in. You know what I mean? Like, you're in there. Like, it's in there. It's swimming in there, swimming up there. It's just
this whole description.
You ain't lying.
I mean, think about that. Think about that. Think about that seriously. Like, you got 4, 5, 6 different dudes raw in you, coming in you, and it's all up in there. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Josh can't hold
Seriously.
it in.
It's nasty. It really is. And I'm not saying the dude ain't nasty. Like, if he have a whole, you know, he going from woman to woman to woman, but I'm saying it just seems more gross when a woman have all of that going on at the same time. So just 4 or 5 different dudes, 6 different dudes, and you don't know who the daddy is. Like, you did that at the same day, like the same week. 6 niggas. Like, kill yourself. You like, that's nasty.
I ain't gonna
Really?
lie. If I'm one of them 6 guys and I'm sitting on the stage, I'm thinking 2 things. First, my fucking screening process is horrible. And then second, if I did bust in it, man, go to the clinic, bro. Go to the clinic.
Yes.
Following 6 cats raw.
Yes.
And
yes. And when you in the clear, you just so happy. Like, you just so happy you in the clear because you know this bitch is straight trash. Like, you just get laid on top of every day. Is you somebody laying on you? You know what I mean? Like, that's gross to me. I'm sorry. I can't.
I'm not even gonna celebrate. I ain't even gonna celebrate.
Hey, once you know 7 other guys was there before you in the same week, you make you want to go celibate. I'm just done for the whole year. I'm good. Like,
I mean, if you get out of it,
I'm done for her for sure.
Yeah.
I'm done for her. I'm not even celebrating. I'm just getting up off the stage and walking off. I ain't gonna even hold you up. Ain't no dancing. I'm leaving immediately.
Right.
Matter of fact,
and praying.
He gonna have to lie to me. He gonna have to pay me. He gonna have to pay me to come on. Second, he gonna have to lie about it. Because if I know it's 6 other guys, including me, on that stage, bro, I'm whatever. Send it to me. Text. Send a text to me.
If you know ahead of time, like, oh yeah, man, she she's a cesspool. You know, everybody jump in, and it's like, okay, I know she easy, but is it worth it?
Well, you know
So
what?
is that like a sex addict though? Like, is that like the woman is a sex addict, or is that she a polygamist? You know what I mean? So it's like, what does this mean?
Well, that's a good question. Because nymphomaniacs are the sex addicts do consistently want to have sex, whether it's sexual based, whether it's with a partner or it's self-pleasuring.
So it's the same with a dude then. So if he got like 3 or 4 women at the same time, maybe it's not necessarily he a natural polygamist. What if he just likes sex, and the women he get, maybe they don't want to have sex every day or 3 times a day, and he got these other women and shit. He like, okay, well, if this one don't want it, this one can get it. You know what I mean? And they with it. So shit, what you do? What do? You be like, I do it because I want to have sex whenever I want to have sex. Whatever. Or I want the bills paid with 3 or 4 other people helping me.
I don't know. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Because if the man is a sex addict, if the man or the woman is a sex addict, and their whole purpose of them doing it is just so they can have pleasure, I don't think that makes them I don't think that will be considered polygamous though, because they're not maintaining a relationship. They're pretty much just kind of just going through the line of women. I don't even know if they're doubling back. They're just going through the line of women, just kind of like, hey, whoever's going to give it to me this night, I'm going to take it, and then that's it. I'm not trying to build anything.
I mean, but they polygamous because, like you said, it's the relation. They're maintaining a relationship with these women. But why is it? Like, what is the root of it? Like, why do you want several women? Or, you know what I mean? Or why do you want several men? Like, why do you need to have so many at the same time? Is it because you a sex addict, or you need help with the bills? I know women, like when you look at those polygamy shows, it'd be like they all raising their kids together. You know what I mean? Like they just have help raising their kids, and they don't care that it's not their turn tonight. Shit, they raising kids. They, like I said, they don't want to fuck every day. So the dude can fuck a different one. You know what I mean? And they don't have to keep up with that, like that demand for sex. What is the root cause of people wanting to live that way? It has to be some type of benefits to it, and it can only be a few, like the sex. I don't have to wear this one JJ out, you know what I mean? Or the money, like, okay, more people in your family, the you can pay the bills easier. Or like we raising all of these kids because the dude from woman to woman getting them pregnant or whatever, so they begin to be some type of family. But that's not a natural thing. Like, men not born that way. It's a lifestyle. It's a reason why they're doing this, not because that's a natural thing, but it's a thing that's a benefit or something for in one way or another.
So would you so AJ, would you say that you saying it's a lifestyle? So you saying that is something that is taught to go out, hey, either sow your wild oats, hey, or have all these women, don't ever commit, or hey, when you get married, you can have multiple wives. There's nothing wrong with that because that's in our culture. So basically, all those aspects right there are basically taught to young men or women that it's okay to have multiple partners throughout your life and not commit to one until you're ready. Like, so my question is, so let's bring it down a little bit. So let's talk about just the Black community in general. In the Black community, are we taught to focus on commitment, or are we just spinning the webs of the same tails? Because I can tell you, when I was coming up, there was no conversation about commitment to one woman. There was no conversation about marriage. The only conversation that I had was don't bring no kids home. That was it. That was the only conversation. There was no conversation about how to treat a woman. There was no conversation about how to really carry myself as a man, really, there was none of those conversations. So when you don't have any of those conversations and you go through life looking at how other people treat women and how they get their perspectives, and then you follow that mode. So if you got friends that, oh yeah, I knocked this girl off last night, then I knocked this girl off this night, you know what I'm saying? I'm knocking girls off. I'm not talking about committing. And then you start to follow that same roadmap. Oh, well, I'm not gonna commit. I'm gonna just knock girls off too. Or how the case is. Then again, it sounds like it's a learned behavior than something natural. Now, if a boy was to grow up naturally and was to find his way to women, I do believe that the mentality of committing to one woman would not be there. It would be, oh, well, if this woman let me, then can I conquer this woman? Can I take this woman? Can I take that woman? I think it will fall along those lines of behavior. And then that would be a more natural progression. I don't think it would just be, oh, well, I see this one woman and this is why I want to commit. I think once they get the satisfaction of sex, then it's like, dang, well, this woman was like this. Dang, well, what is this woman like? Or what is that woman like? You see what I'm saying? I think culturally it's learned. But if it was to happen naturally, I think it would be in the mindset of, yeah, I want to go touch this woman. Oh, I see this woman over here. I want to go talk and see what she about too. Oh, I like her body parts. I want to see what her body has to offer.
Okay, I can see that. I still think it's actually, you think about it, the cultures that really use that. I guess I'm not sure if the Mormons still do it. You had a little sect of them. Remember, that was in the news a few years ago where they was trying to bust him down in Utah. They got their little leader, threw him in jail. But for certain societies and certain religious cultures and groups in other countries, it's probably not going to be looked at like we look at it. Versus here in America, that's pretty much frowned upon. Even though a lot of people are doing it, it's not like the people that I know. It's not like they're broadcasting it. They're trying to, get married and all of that type of stuff. It's just what it is. And do I think it's a better question is it sustainable? Is it like AJ say, is it long term? Can you keep that long term? Can that group dynamic stay together? And what I've seen is no.
I agree with you. I don't think it's a long-term dynamic that can sustain itself, because I think at some point somebody's gonna get left out. Somebody's gonna get left out. A triangle don't roll like a circle do. So
all right.
No matter how many more corners you add to it, it's not gonna roll right. It's not.
That's still counting. That's not counting for feelings changing. How you start off one way, kind of casual, and then a little bit of time into the deal, feelings is developing. So now that's going to change the variables of the relationship. And let's say one girl's feelings are now, she's at the I want to lock you down stage, and the other girl is still at the casual stage. Man, that's going to quickly become a problem, because she's going to start moving in a different lane versus the casual girl. The in it to win it girl is going to start trying to push the casual girl out, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And how do they find these people? Like, how do you find somebody to do this with you? You know what I mean? So is it like you just what?
Like a pimp find a prostitute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, is it like you got a girl and then you want to have a threesome with your girl or something, and then y'all end up with somebody who with it and she want to do it again, now become a relationship, and you let the girl in? Or how do you, like you said, if you're not living in this type of community, because it's people that's doing this shit that wasn't raised like that. Like
Right.
they wasn't raised like that. They ain't grow up with the Mormons, none of that shit. It's black people doing this right now. Like they doing this. Where do you find these people that want to do this? How do you pick them up? Do you pick them up like it's gonna be a threesome? And you can find somebody at the bar. Where do you find this at? Like, is your girl gay or something, or she bi? And then she like, I got a friend, you know what I mean, that can come in, and then they end up staying with the same girl, like doing it again with the girl. But then in that case, you got a girlfriend and y'all just got somebody that just kind of come in sometimes. But then what, they just end up moving in together? Like, what? How do this work? You know what I mean? How does this work? Where are you
I asked my
finding
friend that. I asked my friend that, and I literally specific. We were sitting there drinking, and I had him break it all the way down how he did it. And basically, he's coming into the deal with both girls. Like, he'll meet this girl. He'll tell her up front there's going to be somebody else up front. So when he tells her it's going to be somebody else, she already knows if she's going to proceed with this, that this is how it's going to go. So he'll actually have her help him with the selection. You know what I'm saying? He'll have her help him with the selection. Now, the crazy part that amazed me was one girl was young and one girl was old. One girl was younger than him and the other girl was older than him. Almost old enough to be close to his mama. And the girl that was older was the first one. And she sort of assisted with him getting the next girl. The crazy part was when that happened, the dynamics was all set. They all had their roles. The young girl wound up blowing up the spot and pushing the older chick out.
Of course.
And so, she holds it down. But the ironic part was he pseudo commits to this girl. But while even when that broke up, he was still doing this other girl. He just was doing it on the side. He just didn't have the other girl knowing about it. Sooner or later, that was the first time. Sooner or later, they found out about each other. And needless to say, they fighting in the street and it kind of ended. And then he went, found another chick, just started all over. And now he's I guess this is about his third group, technically. Because his third grouping, yeah. Because each time he got enough sense to realize he can't go past two. He probably would want to, but he realized he's not gonna be able to go past two. And
so is he a sex addict? Is he a sex addict, or he just like two women at a time, like the company together at the same time? Like, what is the thing that he doing? I
think it's kind of a Prince of Zamunda type deal, sowing his wild oats to a certain extent, because I believe sooner or later, probably sooner than later, it's going to get to the point where he's going to get tired of that. Because to maintain the relationship, he's doing a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff. And then it always ends the same way. After a while, he's going to get tired of that. And probably pick him one. But he's like in his late 20s. He's in his late 20s. So I believe as he get older, those thoughts is going to change. And he'll come back down to reality. Because it's not only is it draining, it's time consuming. That's a lot of work.
And he probably just haven't found the right girl that he wants to give his total attention to. Like, because if that's the case, when you find somebody that you like their company and their attention, you don't necessarily need to entertain somebody else. Not for a long time, not for a while, because you done found somebody that you like spending time with more than anybody else, So maybe he just haven't found somebody that he like giving all of his attention to.
You know what? I as you were saying that, you know what I really think it is. I really think it's a. I would say it's an issue of trust. I would say as I sit here and think about it, I would say it's an issue of trust because as he's describing this, he's what kept coming up in the conversation is how much he trusts each girl. That was a major part in the conversation. So as I'm listening to him, I'm thinking like he trusts this girl less than he trusts this girl. But I'm wondering, okay, if you don't trust her, why even involve her into the deal? Because he likes this one more. So I think the trust, not wanting to be, I think it's, trust, not wanting to put all his eggs in one basket and it blow up in his face. So he kind of got options. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say the girl he really likes, she just blow the spot up. He could, his rebound is already right there. You know what I'm saying? She right there. She'll soothe all this over, and he can just push her to the side and plug another girl in and just kind of keep it moving that way. Because to me, you're not dealing with stuff. If that's who you really like, and you know that you're going to have to do some extra work to kind of lock that up, nah, that's too much work. I'll just let that drift aside and go focus on this one, then get another one once I get rid of this one. So there's, like I said, the trust issue and not wanting to really deal with something, I think. Just kind of not want to get too deep in it.
Now, is this guy, well, I guess my question would be, is he finding a thrill? Because it sounds like when he gets one or two of them, one of them going to force the other one out.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
So is it the thrill of seeing a woman fight over him? Kind of, sort of.
I would say no on that part, just because usually it's not gonna be like these mugs busting windows out, trying to stab each. It's gonna get Jerry Springer style real quick. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure he ain't down with that part. So I think, if anything, he's trying to avoid that. He's trying to avoid that by any means possible. But like I said, you're not going to be able to stop the progression of feelings. And feelings change, and they change the variables. Once they change the variables, all bets is off.
That's true. So now we know. Now we have an idea of polygamous relationships and how the case is like that. So moving on to the second half of our question is there a such thing as a soulmate? Is there a such thing as the one that's meant for you, the soul tie that is tied to you? They know you from inside and out. There's no doubt in the world that you will ever change your mind on who this person is. Do you believe that there is a soulmate in the world? Now, I know, I'm not gonna. The concept of soulmate, yes. The actual remnants, like for those that are single, the remnants of soulmate. For those that are married, the concept of soulmate, just to keep everybody out of trouble.
All right.
Everybody out of trouble. Just the concept of soulmate. I know everybody found they won, but just the concept of soulmate. Soulmate has played a lot of different roles for a lot of different people, because some people say they believe in soulmate, others say they don't. Me personally, I don't believe in soulmate. I don't. To believe in a soulmate means that there is somebody out there that you don't have to work or build with at all. It's just seamless. Like, you're going to stack the building blocks and foundations one by one, and it's just going to happen naturally. It's not going to stop. It's just going to just go. I just don't believe that. Now, when I was younger, in my younger days, I was a hopeless romantic, and I believed in soulmates. I thought soulmates was real. I was like, man, I'm gonna find one, and it's gonna be cake. But that's not true. It's not true at all. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Honestly, it's the furthest thing from the truth. The best relationships are the ones that are fought for, that are built, you know, through the trenches. You know, they say they you know, you this person you willing to go to war with or to war for. So I'm giving this to the panel. What is your mindset? What is your idea on soulmates?
I believe in soulmates, but I just think it's more than, I don't think it's just one. Like, I don't think it's just one. I think that you probably won't ever meet all the people that could possibly, you know, be somebody that you could care about like that. But I believe that it's not just one out there. Like, and then when somebody say, I haven't met my soulmate yet, you know what I mean? They haven't met a person who can connect with them on that level. You know what I mean? But some people fall in love many times. Why would we say only one of them might have been their soulmate if they fell in love that many times? You know what I mean? Some people do it over and over again. They fall in love. That's because that's their love. That's their way of sharing their love. They can fall in love more than once. You know what I mean? Some people fall in love once and they be with that person, they break up, they don't never find nobody else like that person that they fell in love with before. So they might say, well, that was my soulmate, because they never felt like that like they felt for anybody else but with that person. You know what I mean? Who knows what happened to that person, but hey, I think that you can love and that you can love again. Like, because if you feel like you're worthy, then your heart is a little more open to receive the love and connect with a person. You know what I mean? But some people don't love like that, and they might feel like they never found their soulmate, or they haven't found somebody to love them like what they're expecting to be loved like. But I mean, is there one soulmate? I don't think that. I just think it's people that connect with you in a way that you feel like this is my soulmate, and it could be one person or it could be several.
Several soulmates sounds polygamous out there. So you got polygamy soulmates going around.
Well, if you fall in love with more than one person and you feeling,
I mean, how you fall
like,
in love with more than one person?
I love this. I mean, after people break up.
Josh, you about to say something?
Well, let's talk numbers. Let's talk numbers. There are 195 countries in this world. 113 of these countries are what we would call in America polygamous. The reason also these countries are these 113, and I'm going with the numbers. 113 countries in this world. The divorce rate of 113 countries that practice what we would call polygamy. I think they said the divorce rate is at like 8%. Over here in America, where we're taught a bunch of garbage, soulmates, Christianity, pie in the sky, all that stuff. The divorce rate is at 98%. Do you know how many people have sat in front of me and in front of y'all and have said, oh, God sent me this woman. God sent me this man. This is my soul.
Right.
They're divorced right now. They're divorced right now. It's so, John, I know where you get that from. Because I used to think that. I thought like you. Oh, yeah, because I was taught my entire life. Oh, there's that one soulmate. In all actuality, it's not. Western civilization doesn't practice like the rest of the world practices. If we took our concepts and gave it to the rest of the world, they look at us like we was crazy. I'm not saying they're right or we're wrong. I'm just saying, I've been in 31 countries, and every other country I've been to, what we would call polygamy, they call marriage. They call queenship and adulthood. That is what they do. Even in Africa, it's nothing for a man to have multiple wives. They're not soulmates. These are his wives. In America, what you'll find is, matter of fact, in America is the only place that you're going to find a woman with multiple husbands. You're not going to find that nowhere else in no other country. I challenge you all to try to find it. You ain't going to find it. Also, when you talk about soulmates, man, that is a repulsive genie in the bottle that we have in Western civilization have been taught. There's no such thing as that. And that's why our divorce rate is so high, because we continue to think that. We keep thinking, oh, it's just one person, it's just one person. And then they break you in half, or they crumble your feelings in half, then you divorce them. I know people, several people, I don't know about y'all, I know several people that have been married several times over, because they keep thinking they find a soulmate. But there's no such thing. There's no such thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like that pie in the sky. Like you said, Jay Smooth, your best relationships are the ones that you got to work for, that you got to fight and get in there and grind for. My parents have been married 60 plus years. It amazes me how they still have to grind for that, how they still work on it. That's amazing to me, man. So when anybody that thinks that you just not gonna work for it, they just gonna show up and this is your soulmate, is just gonna happen. That's garbage, man. That's not out there. And people really need to stop pushing that narrative. Our divorce rate is at 98%. 4 and 5 marriages fail. And I've heard it through the years. Jay, you've heard it. You've heard it. Oh, you've heard it, AJ, through the years. Yeah. Oh, this is the one. This is the one. This is my wife. This is my husband. This is it. 3 years later, divorce.
Right.
The first 5 years are they say the divorce will more likely happen in the first 5 years.
Agreed.
Then the later years preceding that. The first 5 years are rough.
You got a whole bunch
other countries that don't have nothing like that they practice what we call it polygamy. They call it marriage. It's weird that they have 3 and 4 and 5 wives. They're not getting divorced like that. That's weird to me. Don't y'all find that a little bit baffling?
Well, no, I think
you got to be able to afford all them wives too.
And I think the culture is going to play a big factor because we are societal creatures. So if you're in a culture that supports that, I don't think it would be hard. I don't think it'll be hard on the men because it's accepted, and I don't think it'll be hard on the women because it's accepted. It only becomes a problem once you introduce Western ideologies over there that you start having these issues, because they're content. They're not complaining about it. It's only other people complaining about their lifestyles. So yeah, I think it's a cultural thing, and I think it's in their area, just like you said, they're looking at it as marriage. Now the soulmate thing, yeah, I agree with you, Josh. At the end of the day, I don't believe there's no set person that, hey, this is my soulmate, because in any relationship, you're going to have to work. There's no such thing as two people coming together and automatically transforming and become Optimus Prime. You know, you're going to have to build. You're going to have to build this. You're going to have to build this, you know, and you're going to have to continue to oil it. You're going to have to continue to put gas in it. You're going to have to continue to keep it moving forward. When it breaks down, you got to change the tire. It never stops. That part never stops. And then the deal is, you'll know when that deal changes, because everybody's going to have a family member, old auntie, old uncle, whatever, that's married. And you're going to know that's what you're trying to get to, because when they were younger, they were always arguing. And now when you see them, it's nothing but love between them. You know, because they didn't made it all the way through. They didn't came over to the other side. They didn't came to the realization of what they are and what they mean to each other. So I guess it's not a soulmate, but that's probably as close as you're going to get, because that takes time and that takes work, and that's totally not going to be some real quick stuff. First 5 years, you still learning the person. First, especially if you didn't live with them. If you guys are separate and got together, man, that first 5 years is going to be eye-opening, because every time you seeing her, unless you're spending the night over each other's house all the time, you're only seeing her when she looking good and smelling good, feet looking good, hair looking good. You know, that's all you know. Now you gotta
intact.
what you gotta leave, what you're marrying or what you're getting with is the girl with makeup smeared on her face, hair all over her head, breath smelling like raw crackers. You know, that's
raw crackers.
I ain't never heard of no raw crackers. What's a raw cracker?
I meant to say raw oysters, but at the end of the day, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. At the end of the day, that's what you're going to be getting with. That's what you're going to be dealing with. You have to deal with not just the made for TV part. You got to deal with the behind the scenes part. You got to deal with, okay, how are they on their bad day? How are they when they have stress? How are they when they have issues? That's what's going to build the relationship. The other stuff, that's made for TV stuff. Because you're not always going to be having sex. You're not always going to be going out. You're not always going to be looking good and smelling good. And that, to me, is I agree with Josh. That's the bull that's pushed to you. You know, you're only seeing, hey, look at us, look at us, look at us. No, that's not work. That's not work. The work is when she ain't feeling good. She's sick. And you got to take care of her, and she got bodily fluids coming out of every hole. You know what I'm saying? And you got to deal with that part.
That's when you send a nurse in,
baby.
No, you send a nurse in for that.
Now you balling out of control, You balling out of control.
That's the exorcist over there.
Bringing that soup. You're gonna be making that soup.
I'm sending in-house nurse for that.
So I got a question.
I like you.
I got an answer.
Okay, so and I'm gonna go back to Josh's point after I ask this question. But do everybody have a favorite food? Do anybody have a favorite food?
I got a favorite food.
I got a favorite food.
Okay, everybody got a favorite. Do you want to eat it every single day?
I can for 7 days.
I could.
Forever, for the rest of your life.
7 days is my max. I unless I get it in different varieties.
No, I couldn't. You know how I love banana pudding, but I'd put it down after a while.
Oh, you like banana pudding? I didn't know you like banana pudding. Love me some banana pudding.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
You ain't got no taste.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. What Josh was saying about how other places they have all these wives and they don't have no divorce, rate as high as ours, right? Now, we all got a favorite food. We want to eat it every day for the rest of our lives, right? I don't want to eat my favorite food every day for the rest of my life, but I can eat it quite a bit, right? So I'm saying that to say, I hope that my husband don't, go out and find another bitch and love this bitch. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
you don't even know her.
You know what I mean. I'm sorry. My husband be like I should have been born a man because the way that I talk sometimes, you know what I mean? But I don't mean that. She's not a bitch. She a bitch if she take my husband.
She a bad motherfucker at that point.
Right, exactly. So I'm saying that to say is I think for us, our standards be way too high. Like they be it's no room for mistakes. You know what I mean? There's no room for I was human in a lot of marriages, right? So a lot of people jump ship. Like for me, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all might think that I'm crazy, but I can forgive almost anything. You can't beat my ass and you can't steal from me. You know what I mean? I gotta be able to trust you with everything. Like you can't put your hands on me because we're not doing that. That's dysfunctional. And you cannot steal from me. You can't take anything from me and expect for me to continue this relationship. No stealing. Because anything I have, I'm gonna give it to you if I have to give it to you. You don't have to steal anything, right? So that being said, the reason why I think the divorce rate is so high is because people jump ship so fast because there's no room for error in they relationships and marriages and they think people are not human. Like, people are human. None of us are Jesus. You know what I mean? None of us are that. So when you get into these situations where people have all of these wives in other places, they realize that there's a need. Like, there's a need for other things. They might, in those cultures, they fulfill whatever need it is that they have. And they're not being like, oh, well, you got this situation, so I can't be with you. I'm leaving you and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? They have open minds. You know what I mean? Their minds are more open to accept a lot of things. You know, they accept a lot more things. Now, I'm not saying I want my husband to have 5, 3, or 4 wives. I'm not doing that shit. No, because I'm not doing that. But at the end of the day, they don't get divorced because their minds are open to more things that humans do. You know what I mean? Shit, some people want more people. They want that. Like that. And if you can find somebody who can deal with that, then that's more power to you. You know, if you can't and you get this one person, you know, that they think that it should only be you and them, but you know that you ain't really that person, then you shouldn't take that woman that's only wanting or willing to be with you by herself. You know what I mean? So some people be into swinging, some people be into threesomes, or, you know, and is that bad? Like, really, is that bad? If you a person like sleeping with 2 women, or
goddamn no.
Is that horrible?
Yeah, goddamn.
It's only horrible if you with a person who is not into that, and then you do that to them knowing that you are. You know what I mean? So people don't have open minds. Some people don't have open minds and they're not forgiving. But I'll say this, in a marriage, it's communication and it's forgiveness. Because you don't be with somebody for no long time if you can't forgive, because people are human. They do shit. What that is, that's gonna be cross the line, who knows? Like, I don't know what your cross the line is. You're crossing the line if you do this particular thing. I don't know what that is for y'all. But if you're in a marriage, you got to be open-minded and willing to forgive, or you gonna jump ship, and that shit is gonna be over in 3 to 5 years. You know what I mean? Because people is human. You know, some people want to fuck more than one bitch. Some people want to eat that. My favorite fast food is Taco Bell, but shit, every once in a while, I might want KFC. What the fuck? You know what I mean? I don't want
AJ, us single people are doomed, because you can't even disagree with a motherfucker today without them closing on. That's a female true. Can say she like red, you be like, oh yeah, I like blue. Oh, we can't do this. I'm like, God damn.
That's true.
That's the game today.
That's gonna jump into our next topic that I sent y'all. But y'all know what time it is. It's my favorite time of the podcast. Y'all know what we're here for. It is the final word. I feel it. Everybody else feel it. I feel the energy building. I feel like somebody's got something unique to say, and it's going to drive me to give my most passionate speech ever. So I'm going to start with Yule. Yule, give me your final word. Let's go.
Like I said, I think polygamy is culturally based. I think that plays a major factor in those relationships being able to function and sustain themselves. Just like Josh said, in Africa, India, places like that, where it's culturally accepted and it's a societal norm, I believe it can be sustainable. In America, in Western culture, no, I do not believe it's sustainable. Just because the way our system is set up. Most of the time, 83% of our divorce are filed by women. So that dynamic shows that a lot of times people are not doing their homework on who they are getting with. And I think that plays a big factor in most of the marriages and the breakup of the relationship. you're just like AJ said, you're coming in with unrealistic expectations or too high expectations. And one, like she said, no communication in revealing what you really want. Because in the beginning, it's a mutual attraction. And these conversations, and I think that in the Black community especially, these conversations are not being held until it's too late. It's too late to be talking about disciplining kids after you have the kids. These are conversations that should have been had before. How you want to have your marriage go, how you want the dynamics to be. These are all the things that need to be discussed up front. But because a lot of us are entering into relationships broken with already pre-existing conditions that have not been diagnosed, they're not getting help, they're not seeking counseling, you wind up coming into a scenario where it's a ticking time bomb before it even get a chance to get off the ground. So you get into it and bam, it's over just like that, because there's no communication. Now, the soulmate, I'm like Josh. I don't believe there's a such thing as soulmate. What I do believe is that if you put the work in, you can develop you can develop a relationship that is as close to being what a definition of soulmate is. But it requires work. That instantaneous person that just joins with you and y'all form Voltron, no, that doesn't exist. It's going to always be work from beginning to end. And just like you said, Jay, if you want it to work, you're going to have to fight for it.
Agreed.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Josh, I was gonna go to AJ, but AJ gave me a lot on that last one. I'm gonna go to Josh, then I'm gonna go to AJ. AJ, I still love you though.
It's done. I said what I said.
I still love you, AJ. Josh,
like I told you before, man, I'm a numbers guy for the most part, and I love this country. I live here. I fought for it, bled for it, damn near died for it. But it's 195 countries in the world. 113 countries are having basically no issue with polygamy and marriage. But somehow here in America, we are decimated from beginning to end with relationships and culture, and we are just. So I have to ask myself, are we right, or is the rest of the world right? Those 113 countries right? Somebody doing something wrong, and somebody got fucking ganked. So when it comes to polygamy, me myself, I wouldn't do it. Okay, I can't stand listening to one woman. I couldn't imagine if I had to come home to 2 or 3. God damn, shit! One woman drive me through the roof. So imagine coming home to 2 or 3 of them. Hell to the no. My lifestyle ain't set up like that. My finances ain't set up like that. I don't give a damn. Soulmates, again, we learned that term from Christianity. Black people learned that term from Christianity. We don't even realize it, but we were raised that way. Well, it's that one person out there. It's that one person. And at the end of the day, it's not true. And we need to start living in reality. Even when it comes to dating, that leads into marriage and polygamy and stuff like that. If we would deal with more reality, if we would deal with more what's real, let's damn the social media, damn all the stuff, the nitty gritty, like Yul and AJ said, the nitty gritty, you and me, face up. Let's deal with that. We'll have more success. We'd have more success. But there is no such thing as a soulmate, just like there's no such thing as a Jesus. No such thing. No such thing. We've been taught that. And John, think about it. That's where you got it. That's where you got the soulmate from. That you don't really know where you got that from. I'm telling you, if you think back and going to church when you was little, they taught that. But if it was true, the divorce rate would not be at 98%. Because how many people, Jay Smooth, have sat in front of you? Oh, God sent me this woman. This is my wife. Oh, this is my husband. This is it. They're divorced today. What happened? You were sold a lie. but subconsciously you knew the truth, but you believed a lie. So now your ass is sitting up looking crazy like the rest of us, okay? Because you don't know where the hell you got that doctrine from. So I think at the end of the day, we have to remain open-minded to different cultures and things of that nature. And we have to really take a long look in the mirror about relationships and what we are going to do. And by the way, here in America, the only men I've ever seen that were in polygamous relationships, you will say, is he know the guy? I don't know what the guy's financial status is. The only men I've ever met or seen had a lot of money. They were wealthy. Or they had some type of, well, still they were wealthy.
Yeah.
Or they were
money. It was money involved.
He got some money.
Yeah, it was money.
Yeah,
involved.
you see what I'm saying? I don't think I could have 3 women.
No.
They don't want me.
Broke,
3 women don't want me. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I make $5 an hour. I make $5 an hour and I buy stuff from Ross.
You had Taco Bell.
You know,
you had Taco Bell. You better be glad you got one. You had Taco Bell. You better be glad you got one. Be glad you got one.
That's the one that's gonna ride with you forever when you at Taco Bell. I was with you when you was at the bottom.
You hope. She may like the fry cook. She may fall in love with the fry cook.
Hey, look, it's gonna be another hustle and flow.
You bring that home to eat, like you know, you might get. Hey, I like Taco Bell.
Hey,
man,
AJ, you got something for me, or you right on your last bit?
Good. I'm good.
You good? All right. I just had to ask. All right. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I just got a few things I got to say. I agree with Josh. I do believe that we are living wrong. I don't believe in a soulmate, and I do believe that we have to claw at the relationships that we have. Not saying it necessarily have to be a struggle or extreme disagreement, but in the same token, it's something that you have to work at, you have to build at. For those that are in polygamous relationships, I'm pretty sure there's some benefit to it. There's some level to it that brings everybody some level of happiness. And I also believe that there is more difficulty in trying to please 2 people than it is 1 person. Okay. Now in America, we do have issues with people cheating and how the case is like that. But then, they also explore open marriages, throuples, and, the like. Does that make the relationship better? Maybe, maybe not. It's always in who is it trying to please. Are you trying to please a man? Or are you trying to please a woman? Who is it that is the more free-spirited that wants to go out there and explore? Most of the time, you don't get 2 free-spirited people that want to be with each other. You get one non-spirited person and you get another free-spirited person that wants to be with each other. And the free-spirited person kind of want to go out there and be everywhere. And the other person's kind of like, I'm cool with just chilling here. So you get those dynamics, but you don't get those dynamics together. So for everybody that's polygamous, congratulations. That's the greatest thing you could ever have. I can't do it. I don't have the finances. No, the sex part would be great. Every other day I got somebody different. But for the most part, it's just one headache. I don't even think I could put both of them on my health insurance. Like, the family health insurance is already like $150 a pay. That's just me and my son on there. I mean, when you add another woman, I don't even know if they will even sponsor that in America. I don't. I mean, they just put same sex marriages on there. So I don't even know if polygamies haven't even made it that far. I really don't.
No, they don't.
I don't know.
You only put one on there. You only have one wife on there.
Just one. Yeah. Look. One wife can be beneficiary. The other one is a contingent. That's kind of hard. That's kind of hard. Who you gonna make number one? That's some critical thinking I got to do there. I just don't. I mean, do I go with the one that comes first or the one that's the smartest? I don't know. Who's more financially capable of spending the money right? I really don't know. That's a hard. Then what if you both get both of them pregnant? And then they both have twins. Like, that's 4 kids. That's 4 bottles. Man, if you think about it, like, the bigger picture is more money.
And it goes from, I just got a casual relationship to it's cheaper to keep them real fast.
Bruh, like, and then my real question, one question I wanted to ask is, like, why is it illegal in America to have more than one wife? Why is it illegal in America to have more than one wife?
Religion, Christianity.
Religion and state is separate. If the state say I can have it, then they were religion talking about. Because religion already said same sex ain't gonna work, but then state said same sex was working.
State is shaped by religion. Think about that. When the colonies were formed, what formed the colonies other than their laws? Religion.
I say state is shaped by culture, not necessarily religion.
No, now that is true. But what about when the country was formed? What about when the country was formed? Religion played a major part. A big part. Religion
played a major part then, but
now I agree with you, John.
I would definitely say it's shaped by culture.
Hell no. You're right. You're right.
But that is my final word. This is Skip the Formalities. We having all these great debates and conversation discussions. You got something you want to share? You got something on your mind? You got a topic that you want us to discuss in the most humane way possible and disrespectful? Be sure to hit us up in the comments. We got Yule, we got AJ, and we got Mr. Josh. So we'll see you next time. We signing out.